I will share my thoughts on Benedict Arnold, A Question of Honor, but take everything I say with a pinch of salt. That's not to say I have anything negative to say, really, but anything I say probably doesn't have a lot of weight to it. This was released in 2003. It's directed by Mikael Salomon. It's written by William Mastrosimone, and we have a cast including the wonderful Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer is the reason that I decided to watch this, and he plays George Washington. We also have Aidan Quinn as Benedict Arnold, and I don't even think I'd ever heard of Benedict Arnold, so I went into this with basically no information. And as I was watching it, I did do some Googling. I did do a little bit of reading on Wikipedia. And obviously I took all of that with a pinch of salt as well. So I went in with this with no knowledge. I did learn some things, but there are definitely still gaps in my knowledge. So I guess the point there, and I'll talk about the premise in a moment, but the point there is that if, like me, you have never heard of Benedict Arnold, it might be a little difficult to keep up with. Certainly I found that to be the case. Not impossible, but I did have to do some additional reading, which I didn't mind doing, of course. I enjoyed the experience, but it was definitely not an easy, relaxing watch, put it that way. Benedict Arnold was fighting for American independence, and he then switched to becoming a loyalist, and this is in the 1780s, and it is a time period, certainly in terms of American history, that I honestly don't have the strongest of knowledge. I'd love to learn more, I endeavour to learn more, but I did go into this with such limited knowledge. To be honest, the most I'd heard of was George Washington, and honestly, I gave myself credit for that, because at least it was something. So I learned a lot. It was definitely very fascinating, but I still have a lot more to learn. And with that in mind, I can't comment on whether this is an accurate depiction of the time, whether it's an accurate depiction of the characters. I can't even say if it's an accurate version of George Washington, but certainly Kelsey Grammer's performance was great. Everybody gave a really solid performance. I don't have anything to compare it to in terms of the historical figures, but certainly I enjoyed it. The same with the costumes, the atmosphere. It felt realistic, it felt believable, but if somebody were to say, hey, this is not historically accurate, fair enough. But certainly to me, and my amateur eye with this time period, it looked pretty good. It is intense. It is a lot. But it seems well done. The pacing seems good for the most part. It seems very well written. The dialogue seems quite strong. I don't know if any of this includes direct quotes from the characters, whether it's something they've said in speeches or they've written down. I've got no idea. But it seems well written. The story seems well executed. The characters seem pretty fascinating. So as I said, I have praise for it. I learned a lot. It was an interesting, if intense, experience. But take all of that with a pinch of salt, because really, when it comes to Benedict Arnold, I have no idea what I'm talking about. And if anybody wants to shed any light on that, if you have any strong thoughts, either way, please feel free to do so. Or if you just want to share some information that you think might be interesting, I'm all ears to that. So Benedict Arnold, A Question of Honor, is absolutely only a film I watched because of Kelsey Grammer. I probably wouldn't have watched it otherwise, at least just now. Maybe if I gained more knowledge about the American Revolutionary War and had a stronger background going into it, it might have been a different, I guess, more enjoyable watch, because I would have had more sources to draw upon, more information. But that being said, I didn't dislike the experience. It was a lot. It was very heavy going. I had to pay a lot of attention. Not that I mind doing that. Certainly, if you're in my position and you're looking for something relaxing, this isn't going to be it. Would love to know what you think of it, whether you're like me or you're already very knowledgeable about Benedict Arnold. Is it educational? Does it work well? I enjoyed it. Do with that information what you will. But all that being said, I am happy to recommend it.